Well, hi, everybody. It's Dr. Chris here, Dr. Christine Anderson, chiropractor. I am coming on tonight to talk about some of the basics I take with me when I travel. Now, this year has not been such a great one for traveling. I had a whole bunch of travel planned that got canceled, but we did do a little bit of traveling in the US. And I know there are some people that are going to be traveling for the holiday season. So we've already started Hanukkah. So I wanted to jump right in and talk a little bit about really some of the things I find essential when I travel to make sure I can help keep myself healthy and happy. And if you are traveling with kids, I think I'll do a separate episode at some point and talk about some of the strategies I used when I was traveling with my children, because we did travel quite a lot with them. So just a few things that are not really supplement based, but I find essential. Number one, an extension cord. And it should have multiple prongs on it, because sometimes when I'm traveling and we're at Airbnbs or even hotel rooms, sometimes the plugs are limited. And if I'm going overseas, I am using a converter that has multiple prongs on it too. So super, super helpful, especially because another one of the major things I take is a diffuser. And this is a really nice one that's a compact size. It's really, it can take a beating. And I will tell you, this has saved me multiple times. The one that comes to me that's the more recent is I was doing an Airbnb and I walked in and it just reeked of chemical, air fresheners and sprays. It was so bad. I mean, I couldn't even breathe. And so I got my diffuser going with Citrus Fresh, which I'll talk about in a second. Well, it's one of the ones right here. It's a blend from Young Living, and it comes in their starter kit. And this one always goes with me when I travel, because if something is really stinky, it is so great for freshening the air. Or if you're somewhere and you burn something, burn toast or whatnot, it really just helps to clear and freshen the air. So I love Citrus Fresh, and it also is very uplifting. And then usually I keep the diffuser by my bed at night, because I do diffuse some oils at night that we will talk about. Another thing that you might not think about to take is a tennis ball, just a plain old tennis ball. And I bring this on the plane with me or in the car with me. And if there's any area that gets sore, and maybe in my back or, under your leg, you can lay down on it. If you've got a headache or a lot of tension, you can kind of roll it on there. There's so many things that you can do with this. And if you do have children, guess what? You have a toy that you can play with too. So it is multi-dimensional. A couple of other things that you're going to want to have with you sort of in your first aid kit. I know a lot of people are doing a lot of driving this year versus flying. Flying is a whole nother adventure. But even if you are flying, but you're going somewhere, you know that you're going to be doing very active things. Let's say you're going to go somewhere where you're going to be doing some skiing or hiking or, something active wise. Just get some of these. They are instant cold compresses that don't become cold until you squeeze and break the innards. And so these are really nice to have on hand if you're going to be doing something super active that you might get injured. And that brings me to a couple of other things to throw in there. If you're going somewhere that you're going to be doing physical activity, look at, it's not rolled up, but just an ACE bandage. I'm going to actually turn my light down a little bit. Oof, super bright. An ACE bandage is nice to throw in your kit. Some moleskin or some protectors for blisters. This happened, my husband and I were doing a hike in New Zealand, and he started getting a blister, and there was a shop, and it was great. It was there. We probably paid about 10 times more than we would have if it wasn't there. But, it's just some of the things that you don't necessarily think of. And especially if you have children, but even if you're an adult, butterfly enclosures are really great. because they can mimic stitches if you're not in the vicinity of somewhere to get stitches, or maybe it's not bad enough to get stitches, but a regular Band-Aid won't do. And of course, you're going to have some Band-Aids on hand, different sizes. Oh yeah, I think actually this is the package from where we were in New Zealand when we bought that for his heel. The other thing, again, especially if you have children, but it doesn't necessarily have to be so, but if you're hiking, this is another really great thing, is that, I don't know if you can see this, it's the New Skin, and it's a liquid bandage. And I've used this in my aerial classes with trapeze when my skin breaks open, but I still want to train. You can use it sometimes in place of stitches again, as long as you can clean it out really well. Really great to have on hand. And then stuff to put on before you put your bandage on. I find Argentin 23 is great. This is in a gel form. The commercial brand would be Sovereign Silver, and you do not want to just get any silver, cheap silver. It really does make a difference. So either get the professional grade of Argentin 23 from me, if you know me, or from your chiropractor who may have it, or go to the store and get some Sovereign Silver. So that kind of, that can kind of just fit in a little bag, right? It doesn't have to be fancy. If you're going in a car and you've got more room, you can get a little soft-sided case. This just was, I think I got this free from CVS, and there's another one that I use that I've already got sort of filled up. And it's great just to have these ready to go so that you don't have to look for everything or miss out on anything. So that is more for your more active type of holiday, if that's what you're doing. I'm going to talk a lot about essential oils because they are so versatile for so many reasons. And you can also create an oil blend to put onto your wound with lavender and frankincense and oregano with a carrier system. And sometimes I'll put it right over that Sovereign, or that Argentin 23, I should say, to just sort of amp things up. And sometimes I'll mix all of these ahead of time if I know that we're going to be active, and just put it in a little bottle so I don't have to bring individual bottles for that. Here's another working essential oil bag. This is just one I got. I think I got this at Goodwill, but I love bags. And it serves its purpose if I just want to grab this to go somewhere. Sometimes I'll kind of bring it with me in the car. If I'm traveling overseas or I want something a little heartier, there is a case that you can get. And this is a really nice set from Young Living, that it's got all the foam in it, and then you can put your individual bottles there. This was actually one that was gifted to me, so super amazing. And then with your essential oils, if you're wanting to, let's say you want to make a spray. So this is actually something I find immensely helpful when I'm traveling. It says on here, I put a label on there, it says body spray, but basically it is peppermint oil and water. And when we were traveling around Germany and it was an extreme heat wave, the peppermint and water act as a cooling effect. Now, I know in the Northern Hemisphere, that's not really applicable right now, but, maybe at some point we'll be traveling to warmer climes. It also came in handy. There were a bunch of yellow jackets around, and I sprayed those. They didn't like the peppermint, so they just kind of went away. And last year we were in Fiji, and there were a lot of flies for some reason. And I was like, you know what, let's see if they like peppermint. And I just started using the peppermint spray, and they did not like the peppermint spray either. So peppermint is so great for so many things, digestive way. And if I just have peppermint oil in here and some water and I want to freshen my breath, I can just, squirt it in my mouth. It's like a candy cane. It's so, so good. I mean, I've been known to just drop peppermint under my tongue. So there are some oils that are really indispensable, and I'll just check through to see if I missed anything about peppermint. But, just some spray bottles, you can have stuff already mixed up, or just bring a few with you so that if you're like, oh, let me just mix up some peppermint spray, I can do that. Another thing I love from Young Living, my gosh, this light is so bright today, is their Thieves mouthwash, because it actually contains colloidal silver in it. So if for some reason, that's better, still bright, but if for some reason you are having a sore throat or some sort of issue with your mouth, maybe canker sores or some sort of tooth pain, you can try, and I've done this before, it works so well. I put a little of this in a spray bottle. I don't usually dilute it, but you can, and then I can just sort of spray it in my mouth because it has the thieves oil in it, which includes clove, which is great for nerve irritation and pain. So it's these multi-use sort of things, like what is going to give you your best bang for your buck, so to speak. And in that realm, guess what you can do if you have a natural toothpaste? That's better. First of all, this is the travel size, so I love it because it can go on the airplane with me. But you can also use it for deodorant. So let's just say you forget your deodorant or you don't want to pack your deodorant. Then you can just use your natural, this is fluoride free, full of natural goodness. And I can just use this not only for my teeth, but again, I'm on the plane and you get stinky, you can just use your toothpaste. What else have I got in my goodie box here? Another really good one to have on hand. Anyway, no matter what, if you're being active, for sure. I don't know if you guys use homeopathy, but this is a homeopathic blend. It used to be called Trameal. It was bought out by a company that renamed it Tea Relief. And there are different homeopathic remedies in here. It's sort of like Arnica Plus, if you've ever used Arnica before, which is amazing. It's good for bumps and bruising and any sort of injury. Works so well. And with homeopathy, you can take it internally. You can apply it topically. Here's actually the Tea Relief gel. One side note, you do not want to put Arnica gel on an open wound, okay? Because it will sting. So only if there's no opening to it do you want to apply it. But it's great for anything like sprains or strains or falls or even just being sore from maybe either over exercising or maybe sitting more than you normally do. But this is one that I always like to have on hand. And if you don't want to take the big bottle, then just get a smaller bottle and put it in there. But it is one of those things that is really, really great to have on hand. All right. This is what happens when I have so much to say. Let's just dive right in. Oh, another thing you can do that, let's just say your child develops an earache or you develop an earache. Let's just say you're out in the, the wind and the snow and the whatever, and it's blowing right through you, or your child just wakes up and you're not a chiropractor like I am and you can't just adjust them. You can try warming some garlic in some olive oil, strain it, make sure it's cool enough, and then you can try putting it inside their ear. And that is a way for you to help your child with an ear issue if they are just suddenly developing it. And the other thing you can do is you can chop up some onion and put it in a cloth and put it over their ear, and that can be helpful. You can also rub lavender on their neck and their lymph nodes and right behind the ear. That can be helpful too. So there's just so many things that you can do with food and natural remedies if you need it. So the other thing, especially if you're flying, that you're going to want is you're going to want some thieves. Now, this is a blend of 5 oils. It's based on the legend of thieves during the Black Plague who used different oils and spices and herbs to keep from getting the plague. So it's based on that. And I did a whole thing on it. So maybe I'll put the post with it too. So you can get the oil, or you can get like the different products like the mouthwash, but there's a spray that comes with the kit. And I think it still comes with the kit. So if I'm mistaken, you can buy it separately. But when I get on an airplane, or if I'm in any situation traveling and you just don't want to go touching everything, you can spray this on surfaces. So I've been doing this forever, even before all of this stuff started with what's going on right now. I would get on the plane. They also have wipes. I would wipe down, I would spray. And of course, everybody used to look at me funny. Not so much, right? Because they do use a lot of harsh chemicals on the planes. And then some of the ones, especially when we travel to New Zealand, they actually spray pesticides on the plane. And I don't want to be exposed to that. So you can make your own DIY spray if you've got the thieves oil. You can put it in a spray bottle and you can just spray surfaces that way. So there's a whole bunch of different ways to do this, depending on how much you want to take with you and how much you're into DIY. Now, I'm not going to go into all the supplements I usually take as well. I'll do that in a separate post because otherwise we will be here forever. But if you get motion sickness, there are 2 oils that are really great for that. And again, all of these come in a starter kit. There's 2 more that come in here. 2 more that I'll talk about. But I love it because these are oils I use all the time. And it actually costs less for me to buy a starter kit when I want a diffuser, because I basically get the diffuser for free. So if you are not savvy to this, please just contact me and let me help you out, because it really does make a difference about what oils you're buying as well. All right, so there's a couple of different oils you can take if you are getting motion sickness. And this is another one where peppermint shines incredibly. So you can try that. You can put a little bit in, just a little drop in some room temperature water or even cold water, which also is very energizing if you ever are having time change and you have jet lag and you need a pick-me-up. Just put a drop of peppermint in your water or rub it on your temples, and it's like you're instantly wide awake. Or let's say you're doing some nighttime driving for this holiday season. Amazing. The other one I love, and I'm never without it. This one actually, these 2 are always with me in my purse. So if you are ever having tummy troubles and I'm with you, just ask me. But DiGize is another one. Think of DiGize or digestion. Is really great for anything with seasickness or motion sickness or car sickness. You can try the peppermint if you want. You can try the DiGize. You can do both. So you can rub it on your tummy. You can put a little drop under your tongue. It's got a fennel taste to it. Some people mind that. I actually really like it. And it's also helpful if you are having any problems with indigestion, especially with holiday season and overeating. This is a really good one to even just put under your tongue right before the meal starts, or dilute it with a little bit of carrier oil and put it on your belly. That's actually going to help the digestive process, as well as maybe putting a little drop of lemon oil in your water. There we go. By the way, when they have the white label on them, you know that you can take them internally. It's actually labeled for internal use. FYI. All right, so anything digestive, I've got that covered. This is why I love these essential oils, because they're multi-use. What else? Oh, sleep. So, you know, you're in a different environment. First of all, always bring earplugs. I love getting those silicone earplugs because they fit me better. The foam ones don't work so well for me. These are really nice and conform, and that way you won't be rudely awakened by some weird sounds like, oh gosh, I mean, I could name the things that have happened. Like, you know, they start mowing the lawn at like 5 o'clock in the morning somewhere. I mean, it just gets to be crazy. But the oils that I have with me in this kit that are absolutely essential at nighttime, put them in my diffuser, the lavender and the frankincense. And then I will rub some Valor on the bottom of my feet. And it is good night. If I've got more room in my suitcase, I might add some Roman chamomile. But if that's all I've got is lavender is amazing, and so is frankincense. And those two, lavender is considered the Swiss Army knife of essential oils. So great for anything skin. Same thing with frankincense. So if you are, you know, chapped skin or anything going on, you can add it to whatever lotions or oils you're already using and just rub it right into your skin. Just so amazing. What else do I want to say? Oh, the other great thing, if you're being active, that's in the starter kit here, is the Pan Away. So think Pain Away, and it has something in it called wintergreen, which contains natural salicylates, which is where aspirin is derived from. So just go down that way. You don't take this one internally, you apply it to whatever is bothering you. But again, when you've got 12 oils that almost do everything that you need, that is the beauty of their versatility. So if you've got any anxiety going on, that lavender is going to help too, as well as the frankincense, along with an 11th oil that's in this kit called Stress Away. And really, during the holidays, I think we all need like a gallon of this. It does what it says. So this is another one I keep with me at all times. And the other one is Peace and Calming in here. So again, it does what it says. So if you've got kids running around like crazy banshees, or, you know, everybody's like loud and you just need a little centering, you've got 4 oils in here, actually 5. You've got the Peace and Calming, Stress Away, lavender, and then the Valor, which just gives you courage to deal with all of it. So yeah, that's amazing. The other thing that Thieves does, by the way, is help support your immune system. So this is one that I naturally use during the winter months, because that is going to help support what I naturally do with my immune system. And we know that we're exposed to more things, let's say if we're on an airplane. So I might do a little bit more of Thieves than I normally do. Remember, this one also can be taken internally. Here's the white label. It comes in the brown label, which means you can put it in your diffuser or put it on topically. Some people do that as well when they travel in public places, buses, trains, planes, is put it on the bottom of their feet. It gets absorbed into your bloodstream within seconds and then does its work to help support your immune system. Because you guys, the worst thing is you don't want to go on holiday and have something happen, right? The other thing that I take with me usually are, this has veggie caps in it. So I will take some with me. And then that way, if I want to take an oil internally, I can just put it in my veggie cap. I can add an oil like grapeseed oil or olive oil if I want. and take that internally to help support whatever I'm trying to help support. Let's see, what else did I want to say? Respiratory support. So especially now in the Northern Hemisphere with it being colder, this is another one that is vital for helping to support the respiratory system. So you can put it in the diffuser, you can mix it with a carrier oil and just put it on your chest or your throat. And it's so good. It's a blend with different types of eucalyptus and a couple of other things in there, but so yummy. All right. A couple of other oils that don't come in the kit that I highly recommend if you have room. Tea tree oil. This is, again, great for anything on the skin, or if you have a boo-boo that you want to make sure gets taken care of, you can add that to your repertoire. Tea tree is so good. Lemongrass is really good to have on hand for a couple of reasons. It can help deter bugs if you're in someplace warmer that has maybe some pesky, what do we want to call them? Buzzing things that bite you. The other great one that I cannot seem to find because I think I used it up at the end of summer is citronella, and it does the same thing. And so with lemongrass and citronella, you could add them to your sunscreen. You can add them to your regular lotion or oil that you're using. And that's going to help replace those very toxic chemicals that people use that are so bad for you. I mean, they just get absorbed right into your skin. So whenever you're putting anything on your skin, you really want to make sure it is chemical free. I can't stress that enough. Most people don't realize that. And I mentioned oregano before, just because it has such a good aspect of supporting your immune system. So if you feel something creeping up on you, you can do that. If you suffer with seasonal issues, when spring and fall are coming around and there are things in the air, there's actually a trio that works really well, which is lemon, lavender, and peppermint. And you can put these in your diffuser. You can put it in a capsule and take it internally. You can rub it on your neck, even between your nose, just to try to keep everything open there. As well as using a neti pot, which I usually do not travel with, but I have done things before, oh my God, you guys, where I have taken I usually bring a good Himalayan salt with me, by the way. It depends, what is going on, but if I'm going somewhere and I know that I'm going to want to do certain things like an Airbnb and I'm going to be cooking or whatnot, I'll bring my good Himalayan salt with me. And yes, a lot of times I can go shopping, but who knows? It depends like where I am, if I'm going to be able to get what I want. So sometimes I'll just bring it with me. Then that leaves more room in my suitcase for bringing things back. But I will take a little Himalayan salt, mix it with some good water, and then I'll just put it in my hand and snort it up my nose if I need to have that cleansing effect that the neti pot does. That's like that's really MacGyvering it, I know. You might also usually when I travel, I have an all-purpose jackknife, some travel scissors, packing tape, bubble wrap. And it's great because bubble wrap, it doesn't weigh anything. So you can just fill your empty space there just in case you get something breakable. A Sharpie, safety pins, a little sewing kit. You want to make sure when you are traveling, you have something that blocks RFIDs, which are people can just come by and read your credit card. I mean, you should have that anyway. That's a whole nother episode. Okay. Maybe a car charger if you're driving with your car to charge up your electronics. Also make sure you're bringing extra charger wires, you know, the things you plug in for your phone, and maybe even a couple of these different little USB doodads. And even a mini speaker. And if you're driving in a car, let's say you're going somewhere and you're going to rent a car, just bring an adapter for your phone to be able to plug in, just in case the Bluetooth isn't working for some reason. I think that'll probably do it for the stuff. I'm sure I'm missing something, but really, truly, these are like the very, very basics. Like I said, that I pretty much don't go without them, just so that I've got those basics on hand and I don't have to go running around looking for something. If I need more things, a lot of times I can always go to a health food store or whatnot. All right, so if nobody has any questions right now, I'm going to wrap it up. If you want to join me now, because I am late, I'm wrapping this up late, I'm going to be on my Young Living with Dr. Chris channel and show you guys how to make really easy. I mean, we're talking super easy diffuser earrings that would make a really great gift in a pinch and really not that expensive. All right, you guys, I will see you in a couple of weeks. Believe it or not, next Tuesday is my birthday. And then we've got the holiday coming up right after that. So I will see you in a couple of weeks. I'm going to take next week off. Till then, be healthy, be happy, and happy holidays. Bye.